Alright, so for today's video, we are going to extend our calculation for the mean and also standard deviation into maybe 2 or more groups of data. Alright, okay. So if you have a look for our notes here, we are having this part we call as combining set of data. Okay, so when you want to combine two set of data, generally it's like that. If you want to calculate the mean, when you're having two set of data, you need to get the total for both group of data first, and you add them together to get the grand total divided by the total number of x and y that you have in these two set of data. The same thing happens for the standard deviation. If you want to get the standard deviation, then you have to get the total for x squared and also the y squared for both groups first, and divided by the nx and also the ny. And after that, you minus the mean. So please take note that the mean here is the mean for both group one. Okay, you already combine them, become the new mean, right? So this is a new mean actually for both group. Okay, so the formula itself that provided here will not be provided in the formula booklet. All right, so you have to know the idea on how to calculate all this if let's say they want to combine two set of data. Okay, and then for this set of data, for our notes here, the formula provided now, they are only for combine. Combine means that you join two groups together. But we realize that in A-level exam, right, they would actually ask you also, like, if let's say they want to separate, okay, they maybe want to separate some students or maybe some data from the original set of data, okay, then what do you have? All right, so how can you do the calculation if let's say they want to separate something from the data also? All right, so for this formula in our notes, it is generally not detailed enough because they only got the combined part. Okay, so for the take out the data part, maybe we need to discuss it by using some example, some extra example here. All right. Okay, so now maybe we can try to. I created a simple example here, and I feel I want you to discuss. We want to discuss this together. Okay, so maybe I will change the question a bit. Right, so this is the extra example that I have. I give you the weight for 8 female, and these are the weight. Okay, and I give you the weight for 3 males also. This is the weight also, and I will want to give you my weight. So my weight is actually x. Okay, so my weight is actually x. So maybe you don't know what is x yet, and we want to find the x later. Okay, all right. So let's say the group, the female group, the weight now I label it as x. Okay, then the male's weight now I will label it as y. Okay, so for my weight, right? So my weight is actually one of these. Just that you don't know what is my weight now, right? But it is actually one of this weight. Yeah. All right. So now there are a few things that I want you to do first. First one, please calculate the summation of x for me. Calculate the summation of x squared for me, and also the summation of y and summation of y squared. Okay, so what do I have? Summation of x means that for this 8 female, y means this y male, 3 male. Right? So if you didn't do any careless mistake, if I didn't do any careless mistake, I count again. Okay, so if I didn't do any careless mistake, I will get 434. Okay, for this value. And after that, for my x squared, I should get 24232. For the y, I should get 228. For this one, I will have 17550. Okay, so this is what I have here. Okay, so all this information are very important because generally you will need to know and what is the value in the calculation later. This one is n equals to 8, and then this one is n equals to 3. Okay, so I assume that you get the idea already. Okay, you get the answer already. So now assume that now I don't know what are all this already. I cancel off all this. Okay, so from you just know that here this is your information that you have. Okay, then now this is my weight. And I'm actually part of the 8 female here. Yeah, alright, so now if I want you to okay, so if let's say I left the female group, okay, if I left the female group and then okay, so if I left the female group lah, then I will get maybe a new mean or new variance. Let's say I get the new variance, sorry, the new mean. Okay, the new mean that I get is equals to 368 over 7, let's say. Okay, and then maybe I want you to calculate the weight of NCX and the new standard deviation. Okay, so let's say what I want you to calculate now. Okay, so at first I'm part of the data in the group of 8 female. And now I want to left the female group. And I realize that the new mean of the group is 368 over 7. So now I want you to calculate the x means my weight and also the new standard deviation. So how can we do that actually? Okay, so to get the new mean, this is the new mean. Alright, so to get a new mean, you need to take the original total, which is 434. Because I left the group, therefore you have to minus my weight. Then divided by 7. And they already give you that the new mean is 368 over 7, right? So which is equal to 434 minus x divided by 7. So from here, you should be able to get the value, which is 434 minus 368, and you get 66. So that means my weight is 66 kilo. Okay, so after you get my weight already, now using the information, I want to get the new standard deviation. So how can I get the standard deviation? Okay, so to get the new standard deviation, again, you need to get the total of the x squared, right? So the total of the x squared is 243,232. But this is for 6 female one. One female left already, therefore you have to minus the square of the weight. So you have to minus 66 square divided by 7. Okay, then minus the mean. What is the mean for the 7 people? So 368 divided by 7, and then you square it. Alright, this is something extra that you need to do lah. When you want to kick a person out from the group, or maybe when the person left the group, right? So you have to minus the square of the data also before when you want to calculate the new mean or standard deviation. Okay, so if I use calculator to try and get the answer, if I'm not mistaken, I should get the answer 8.7. 8.70 into 3 significant figure. Okay, so this is when we want to leave a group. So you have to actually minus, okay, the data that you have. Okay, all right. Okay, so next. How about if let's say I want you to calculate. Okay, so maybe I keep another question here. Part 3. Calculate the mean and standard deviation for the remaining 7 female and 3 male. Okay, so they want to calculate the total mean, all right, the mean and also the standard deviation for the remaining 7 female and 3 male. That means they want you to combine them together. Okay, so again, for this case, you need to actually combine, right? Okay, so what is the new mean for these two group of people? So again, the new mean will be, you can take 434, but this is for 8%. You have to minus the 66, and then you add the 3 female. So the 3 female will be 228. Divided by how many people you have in total, you're having 10. Because 8 minus 1 becomes 7, right? So 7 plus 3 becomes 10. Alright, so the new mean here is very simple. Divided by 10, then you should get 59.6. Okay, and after that, if they want you to calculate the new standard deviation, can you do that? So again, summation of x squared. So the x squared is 24232, right? This is for 8 people, minus the 166 squared plus the total of the male square. So 17550 divided by 10, okay, and then minus 59.6. All right, then again, by just pressing the calculator, what do you get? Okay, so if I didn't do any careless mistake, when I press the answer like this, I get 13.8. Okay. All right, so I hope that from here you roughly know if you want to combine two sets of data, how you combine them. If you want to separate something from the group, how can you do it? Okay, to calculate the mean and also the variance. All right. Okay, so now this is what we have it for this part. So again, there's no special technique or whatsoever for this kind of question. Basically, it's based on common sense. Once you have the basic idea on the calculation for mean and variance, right, then you can just use the concept and extend it to different groups and also different cases like this. All right. Okay, so later I will want you to continue with the other two examples in the notes by yourself later. All right. So this is generally the idea that I want to let you know for this video. Okay, so now before we continue to the next example, right, I just want you to have a look for 8.7 for the standard deviation and 13.8. Okay, so what is the meaning of 8.1 and what is the meaning for 13.8 in these two groups of data? Okay, so 8.7 is smaller, right? It's smaller. So that means actually for these 7 people, their weight and everything, right, is not too far away from each other. So the number we consider is quite small. But when your mean, your new standard deviation become larger, right, 13.8, that means the data is actually more spread out. So if you, based on common sense, right, you will think that this is logical because when you combine male and female weight, usually the male one will be higher, right? And then the female one will be lower. So you combine these two sets together, right? Generally, the spreadness of data will be bigger. That's why the new standard deviation will be bigger compared with the purely female one. All right, so this is the meaning of, what is the meaning of measure the spreadness of data, and this is the meaning of it. Okay, so these two examples, I think you can, these two values, you can use it to compare, and it makes a very good logic. Hopefully you can understand from here. Okay, all right. So this is what I want to discuss for this video. So the remaining time, I will want you to continue with solve the example 17 in your notes. Okay, I will only give you the final answer. So for first part, they want you to calculate the mean and standard deviation, right? So the mean is 41.4. If I correct it to 3 significant figure, standard deviation, I will get 13.2. Okay. Then for part number 2, there's one person leave the group Okay, and then they want to calculate the age. So the age of the person is 48. All right, and also they want you to calculate the standard deviation for the remaining. So the standard deviation here will be 13.4. All right, so this example is very similar to something I discussed with you. So please make sure that you try on your own. Yeah. All right. Then after that, for example, 18 also the same. Now you're having two groups. So you're having boys and girls. Instead of giving you the summation, they give you straight away the mean and also the standard deviation. So let's say the boy are X, the girls are Y. Okay, so now they want to calculate the mean and standard deviation for these 50 children. Okay, so before you do any calculation, I think you need to find summation X, summation X square, summation Y, and also summation Y square first. Please find out all this first before you can continue with the calculation. Alright, so the summation of X generally is 3,200. Summation of X square, I have 512,320. Summation of Y, I'm having 4,650. Summation of Y square, I have 721,117.5. So I think these are the things that you should get first up before you can continue with the calculation. And then after that, to get a new mean for both groups, you will have 157. And then when you're looking for the new standard deviation, you should get 4.44. Alright, so these two examples, I think it is not too hard after we discussed the example just now. So hopefully you can try to sort out the answer here. Okay, so this is all I want to cover in this video.